Judy Moody, The Doctor is In by Megan MacDonald. Illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. A moody day. Flip, Judy Moody woke up. Drip, 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 went rain on the roof. Blip, 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 went drops on the window. Not again. It had been raining for 7 days straight. Boring. Judy Moody was sick and tired of rain. Judy put her head under the pillow. If only she was sick, being sick was the greatest. You got to stay home and drink pop for breakfast and eat toast cut in special strips and watch TV in your room. You got to read Cherry Ames' Student Nurse, Mysterious Old Day. And you got to eat yummy cherry cough drops. Hey, maybe Cherry Ames was named after a cough drop. Judy took out her mom's old Cherry Ames book and popped a cough drop in her mouth anyway. Get up, lazy bones, said Stink, knocking on her door. Can't, said Judy. Too much rain. What? Never mind. Just go to school without me. Mom, Judy's skipping school, Stink yelled. Mom came into Judy's room. Judy, honey, what's wrong? I am sick of rain, she whispered to Mouse. Sick? What's wrong? What hurts? Asked Mom. My head, for one thing, from all that noisy rain. You have a headache? Yes, and a sore throat, and a fever, and a stiff neck. That's from sleeping with the dictionary under your pillow, says Sting, to aid your spelling test. It's not, it's two. See, look, my tongue's all red. Judy stuck out her Cherry Ames cough drop tongue at Stink. Mom felt Judy's forehead. You don't seem to have a fever. Faker, said Stink. Come back in 5 minutes, said Judy. I'll have a fever by then. Faker, said Stink. If only she had measles, or chicken pox, or mumps. Mops gave you a headache. Mops gave you a stiff neck and a sore throat. Mops made your chick stick out like Humpty Dumpty. Judy pushed the cough drop into her cheek and made it stick out, Humpty Dumpty style. Mops, said Dr. Judy. I think I have the mumps, for real. Mumps, said Sting. No way, you got a shot for that. A no mumps shot. We both did, didn't we, Mom? Yes, said Mom. Sting's right. Maybe one mump got through. Sound like somebody doesn't want to go to school today, said Mom. Can I stay home, Mom? I promise I'll be sick all day. Let's take your temperature, said Mom. She took the thermometer out of the case. Cat hair, said Mom. Is this cat hair on the thermometer? She's always making Mouse stick out her tongue and take the cat's temperature, said Stink. Mom shook her head and went to wash off the thermometer. When she came back, she took Judy's temperature. It's 98.6, said Mom. Normal. Faker, fakey, not sick. Big fat faker, said Stink. At least my temperature's normal, said Judy, even if my brother isn't. Better get dressed, said Mom. Don't want to be late. Stink, you're a red fink. Stink, red fink, Moody. That's what I'll call you from now on. Well, you have to call me in at school, 'cause you don't get to stay home. Judy stuck her head cherry red, no mop's tongue at stink. She was down in the dumps. She had a bad case of grumps. The no mops, Moody Monday blues. She, Judy Moody, feeling muppy dumpy. Muppy dumpy without a temperature, that is. Medullas and mandible. When Judy walked into Class 3T 7 minutes late on the unhappy mom's busy day of Monday, Class 3T was dry as a bone or bones. There were bones everywhere. Mr. Toad had made a new bulletin board, our amazing body from head to toe. It had a tall poster of bones with long scientific names. On the front board, he tapped a chart that showed rodent bones. It looked like the inside of peanut. The dwarf guinea pig in Class 3T, and sitting behind Mr. Toad's desk in Mr. Toad's chair, using Mr. Toad's pencil, was a glow-in-the-dark skeleton. Class 3T had turned into a bone museum. Bones were not drippy. Bones are not noisy. Bones are not boring. Bones are dry and quiet and very, very interesting. Things were sure looking up for a no mumps Monday. Judy handed Mr. Toad a late pass. Sorry I'm late, she said. I almost had the mumps. Well, I'm glad you're healthy. And here now, we are starting a new project on the human body from head to toe. We're going to do something skipping, said Jessica Finch, and measure our heart rates. And play Twister, said Rocky, to learn about muscles. And sing a song about bones, said Allison asked. I can't believe you started the human body without me, said Judy. A person can miss a lot of 7 minutes. Don't worry, I think you will catch up, said Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad taught them a funny song that went, that foot's bones connected to that ankle bone. He read them a book called Frozen Man, the incredible real-life story of 5,000-year-old mummy. And Class 3T got to turn out the lights and use the glow in the dark skeleton named Bonita to count how many bones were in a human. 206. We'll be learning a lot of new words in this unit. The scientific names for the bones and body parts come from Latin, so they may sound a little funny. Like maxilla in your jaw? Asked Judy, looking at the bulletin board. And so is mandible, said Jessica. Jessica Finch had already learned to spell microbes, a fancy word for germs, as incutis, and medulla, a fancy word for brain stuff. Can you spell headache? Judy asked. Frank Pearl cracked up at that one. Then Mr. Toad passed out all pellets. They got to poke them with a pencil to find bones, rodent bones. Judy and Frank stared at their fuzzy gray lump. Double black. Just think, this is our vomit, said Frank. It's still interesting, said Judy. Real bones are in there, skulls and stuff. You poke it, said Frank. So Judy poked it with her grouchy pencil. Then they found a jawbone, a rib, and a bone Mr. Toad called a femur. They glued each bone onto paper and draw in all the missing bones to make the rodent skeleton that matched the one on the board. Do any rodent bones have the same name as human bones? Asked Mr. Toad. Judy raised her hand. Tibia, called Jessica Finch. Very good, said Toad. That's what I was going to say, said Judy. Jessica Finch was a rat fink, like stink, for not raising her hand, a rodent think. Now let's talk about your human body project, said Mr. Toad. Project will be due in 2 weeks. You can do your project on bones, muscles, joints, and brain. Joints the brain. Even toenails? Asked Brad. As long as it teaches us something about the human body. Let's start by writing down ideas in your notebooks. I want to see brainstorming. Do an operation on today. Dress up and be Elizabeth Blackwell, first woman doctor. Tell doctor jokes about body parts. Show and tell a body part from scalp collection. Listen to heartbeat with stethoscope. Judy had the storm in her brain already. Rocky wanted to do 3,000-year-old human body stuff. Mummies. What are you thinking of doing? Judy asked Frank. Cloning. I'll be a fiction scientist or a science fictionist. Somebody who clones stuff, like in Jurassic Park. They used a drop of mosquito blood and made a whole dinosaur. They do it in real life too. Start with one cell, like from your DNA, and make a whole new you. Double cool, Judy said. I'm going to write a dictionary, Jessica told Judy, with human body words and appendix and pentilla. That's your knee. Jessica Finch had microbes on the medulla if she thought she could rewrite the dictionary. Judy looked back at her own paper. She chewed her eraser. She chewed her fingernail. She chewed her hair. Judy had a brainwave, a real body parts idea. She would call Grandma Lou to see if she had any good body parts for showing and telling. Something better than scalps. This was the brainiest of all storms. She wrote down call Grandma Lou so she wouldn't forget. Judy's first sharp, grouchy pencil was still flying when Mr. Toad said, Class, that's enough brainstorming for today. Good. My brain hurts, said Frank. I am passing out permission slips for our field trip. Field trip? It's to screaming mimes? Asked Judy. Please, please, pretty please, with chocolate mold ice cream on top. Max and Kelsey said from class 3M works at the hospital, so we're invited to go with their class to County Journal A&E department. We'll learn all about the human body and get to see people who makes a difference in action. Accident and emergency. That was even better than screaming mimes. Judy Moody dropped her mandible and her grouchy pencil. It was there when I broke my finger, said Frank, waving his crooked pinky. They have a nurse named Ron. I went when my brother stuck a piece of Lego up his nose, said Brent. Can we go see all the new babies? Asked Frank. They're so wrinkly. Well, I am glad the whole class is enthusiastic, said Mr. Toad. When do we go? When? As everybody asked. Monday, 1 week from today. Dr. Norser will be giving us a tour. Dr. Noiser, said Rocky, and everybody cracked up. She, Judy Moody, and Class 3T were going to A&E for real and absolute positive, the blood and guts, real body parts, A&E department. Word that means mouse? Asked Jessica. If you move a muscle, it looked like a mouse. She flexed her arm. Judy used a 43 muscles and it took to front Jessica Finch. At the hospital, Dr. Noiser led Class 3T down a long hall. Why does that doctor lady have a rabbit? Asked Frank. Animals aren't allowed in the hospital, said Jessica. It's a new program called Pause for Healing, that Dr. Noiser told them. People bring animals to patients in the hospital to help them feel better. Holding an animal and petting it can actually lower a person's blood pressure and help a patient forget about being sick. Rare, said Judy. Dr. Ann took them into a room at the back of A&E, where Class 3M was already waiting. There were a lot of machines and important-looking stuff. What's the first thing you would do in an emergency? Quizzed Dr. Noiser. Call 999, everybody shouted. Would you call 999 to find out how long it cooked a turkey? Only if you're a turkey, Frank said. Judy and Frank cracked up. Is a crossword puzzle an emergency? Only for my dad, who tries to beat the clock, said Judy. Believe it or not, we do get people who call 999 for such things. But let's say we have a real emergency, like a car accident or a heart attack. Everything around here happens super fast. As soon as the ambulance arrives, the paramedic people trained to handle medical emergencies starts giving the bullet, telling us what happened. Train wreck means the patient has a lot of things wrong with them. Who knows that code blue means? Lot of blood? All the people in blue shirt have to help. It means somebody's heart stopped, said Dr. Noiser. Do you fix heart that stop? Asked Allison S. You must help a lot of people, said Erica. Oh, doctor, make a promise to help people. It's called a Hippocratic oath. Hippocrates was the father of medicine. In the old days, you have to swear to Apollo and Hygia to help people the best you could. If you didn't know what was wrong with the patient, you had to say, I know not. The old oath sounds funny as now, so a doctor named Louis Lasagna rewrote it. Louis Lasagna, did he invent pizza too? Asked Frank, doctor, and laughed. But how do you always know what to do? Asked Rocky. Being a doctor is like being a detective. You look at all the clues and try to solve the mystery. In A&E, we just do it in a hurry. Think of it like each one of us is a human jigsaw puzzle. My job is to figure out the missing pieces and put out the puzzle back together. Rare, whispered Judy. I'm the best at jigsaw puzzle, bragged Jessica Finch. I did 500-piece jigsaw puzzle in Big Ben all by myself. Sometimes Judy wished Jessica Finch would shut her mandible. Now I'll show you what name of this stuff is for, said Dr. Noiser. Dr. Judy got to use a stethoscope to listen to her own heartbeat. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Then she took Frank's blood pressure. For real. Look for Jessica Finch's tonsils and saw eye insides and a special kind of scope. With a special kind of scope, they took turns riding in a trolley, working with crutches and sitting in a wheelchair. Dr. Ann turned out all the lights and showed them x-rays. There were a brain, it looked like ghosty, a dog that got hit by a car, it looked like all sideways. Even a violin, it looked all dead. X-ray helped solve the mystery, he said. They even got to see a real, live, ooey gooey heart on a TV. This is better than the operation channel at home, Judy said. And they got to practice on life-size dummies called Heart, Head, Harry, and Taruma Tammy. I have a practice doll too, said Judy, with 3 heads. How'd I get better? I practice being a doctor like Elizabeth Blackwell. How How would you like to practice a patient with a broken arm? Asked Dr. N, and I will show everybody how to put on a cast. Judy Moody would not believe her inner, middle, or outer ears. Can I, Mom? Sure, if you want to. Hold out your arm, Judy Moody, forced girl doctor. Judy grinned with all 17 muscles and take to make a smile. She held her arm and straight as a snowman's stick arm. Dr. N wrapped it round and round with soft cotton stuff. I'll use a special plaster bandage that turns hard when it dries so Judy won't be able to move that arm. That way her bone will stay in place and heal back together. My radius or my Una? Asked Judy. I see you know your bones. Can you still wiggle your phalanges? Judy wiggled her fingers. Everybody laughed. A not broken arm is even better than a broken arm. I wish I never had to take it off. Tell you what, said Dr. Noiser. If your mom says it's okay, you can wear it home. I'll show her how to take it off. Can I, Mom? Can I? I can trick Stink. Please, pretty please, with band-aids on top? I don't see why not, said Mom. Sure. Rare, said Judy. Judy Moody, was a mystery, a human jigsaw puzzle with a broken arm. Not. Judy was so happy from hospital day that even her eyebrows were smiling. She stared at all the signatures on her cast. Even Dr. Noiser had signed it. His signature looked like a messy blob, but still she could hardly wait to get home and show Dad her cast. Maybe she could even get out of setting the table on account of her broken arm. Not. Wait, still she told Stink. When she got home, Stink was waiting at the front door. Judy held up her cast. You broke your arm? Asked Stink. Sweet.